Most of the Asian markets are higher in trade today. The Taiwanese index is up around 112 points.
On the way down, the 20-day moving average for the Bank Nifty stands at 43,597, which should not be broken.
ICICI Bank's board has now approved increasing stake in Lombard by 4% in multiple tranches.
First tick that you're seeing on the index and looking pretty good. There's a century straight off the back.
This is an economy humming after a year and a half of rate hikes. I think the outlook is extremely positive.
We expect the SUV industry as an industry to grow a little over 10% in F24.
The economy is slowing, but clearly it's not slowing as fast as would give comfort to the policymakers.
The Nifty is inching towards it, but you pull up that intraday chart and you would see the first rally on the Nifty has been sold into.
It was an operational loss this time around, one-time loss of 9,235 crore rupees that the company reported. It is related to some tax disputes.
Around $300 million is the estimated outgo cash flow post successful completion of the transaction.
Continues to see an up move, 107 points higher on the Nifty. We've seen some, it's actually been consolidating around that range.
Well, that was a day so far. You're with us here on a fresh new edition of Closing Bell Monday afternoon, and things are looking quite solid. I'm Prashant. With me, my colleagues Reema and Nigel. Nigel, of course, is making a presence here in the studio, not on the newsroom floor. Guys, hi. Good afternoon. Things are looking, pretty good, and they've been looking that way since the morning. Maybe off by 20-30 points from the day's high, but just look at that. I mean, I think it'll tells you how strong and steady it has been from the time that we started this particular trading session. Banks, by the way, are the ones which are doing the best. I mean, if you take a look at overall what's going on, I think the Bank Nifty making a new all-time high in the first, actually right at the word go, and then actually adding another 100 points from that point on. As we begin the last 60 minutes, on the Nifty Bank, there is a slight drop-off which is starting to appear. We'll track that if that builds into something more. Otherwise, broader markets have been looking solid. It's a big volume-led up move once again for so many mid and small cap stocks out there. And I think that is quite heartening to see. And in the US later today, I think, the question whether US itself is starting to catch a bit of a momentum on the upside, I think will be will be the key question, because, the S&P, the NASDAQ, both are they're both basically above their February highs very comfortably now. So are we starting a new phase? The debt thing, of course, still hangs in the balance. There is a vote which is to be conducted. The US Parliament, the Congress has to vote yes to it, and that comes up only on Wednesday, so we'll know when that happens. For now, things are looking quite okay, notwithstanding the last 5-7 minutes kind of drop-off that we're starting to see across these indices that are up on your screen. Reema, hi.
Hi. So Europe is in the green, but
Yeah.
it's not a roaring rally.
Yeah.
Currently, you've got the key European indices up close to about 0.1, 0.2%, extending up to a 0.25% gain. So in the green, holding on to a positive bias, but not a big rally that you would expect once, you pretty much got a resolution on the debt ceiling issue, which was an overhang on our markets for at least a week now. For our own markets, there have been lots of ebbs and flows, right? There have been two, slips from the top of the trading session, two recoveries, and once again, markets are getting a tad bit choppy. The Nifty intraday high was a level of 18,641, which means we're about 50 points away from that high. But the month of May has been very solid. The mid-cap index has rallied 5.5%. The small-cap index has seen a rally of close to about 4% so far this month. And today has been all about individual big movers. Look at Nucleus Software. Reported numbers on Friday, two back-to-back days of an upper circuit of 20%. Numbers are good, but look at the re-rating that we've seen on the stock. On the flip side, City Union Bank, some NIM compression and the street has slammed it. The stock is down close to about 10%. Greaves Cotton, there is some concern about the FAME subsidy. That stock is down about 8 to 9%. Balkrishna Industry, top-down miss. The stock is taking it on the chin. So it's all about the individual movers. There's another one, Bajaj Hindustan, reported numbers sometime back, and now you are seeing big buying in that stock.
Reema, earlier the call this morning was if you're going to get a gap up, it's better to take some money off the table because you have a lot of big cues that are lined up and a couple of factors played out. One is the PCR. It was at around 1.37. That's the higher end of the band. The dollar index has continued to show strength. That's at around 104.2. And the probability of getting a Fed rate hike in June has gone up big time. So put all those factors together. When you got that 120, 130 point gap up, it would be good to take some money off the table. And as we speak, the Nifty is virtually lower. So I think that call has worked pretty well. Tomorrow we come and we'll reanalyze it. But for the time being, some money being taken off the table. Individual stocks as well have taken a bit of a knock. And also the mid-cap index, that's been underperforming all through the trading session. So just pull that up for you. And the advance decline ratio as well, you had way more number of stocks that were advancing in comparison to number of stocks that are declining. Now those lines are getting a little bit closer to each other. So I'm telling you that today was the day when maybe you wanted to book some profits and enjoy the rest of the trading session. But let's run you through first up what we have lined up on the show for you. We'll put the spotlight on some mid-cap stocks. E-clerks and nuclear software, will they surging in trade? What's hitting the stocks? Details coming up.
ICICI Lombard surges after ICICI Bank's board approves increasing stake in the insurance arm by 4% in multiple tranches. All the details that you need to know coming up on the show.
Sources tell CNBC-TV18 that Federal Bank may be looking at raising capital from a large QIP. Details on that exclusive story coming up on the show.
And ONGC is the biggest Nifty loser today. The company reports a loss of 248 crores after providing for a one-time of more than 9,000 crore rupees for tax disputes. Key excerpts from a conversation with the management on closing bell today.
And finally, we'll discuss the way forward for the markets and top portfolio bets with our Alpha Manager of the Day, 3D Bhattacharya of Edelweiss AMC. All this and much more in the next 60 minutes.
Okay, well, that's what's lined up here over the next 60 minutes.